Hi, good morning everyone. So today I'm going to provide a session on how to shape the business elements in PowerPoint. So this session is basically aimed at helping both persons who have troubles in designing their PowerPoints into a more business sense, and that is also for those persons who want to improve their PowerPoints and in a more professional way as well. So let's start it. So I think most of the people, no matter whether you are working or you are students, they have some troubles in making their PowerPoints into a more good-looking ways that can better to assist their contents. Some people, I think, yeah, they did have a good contents, but just need of some techniques to help to make it delivered and designed well. So I think most of the commerce people and commerce students, they want to make their PowerPoints look like have a more business sense, and it's better to attract the audience to focus on the contents and also focus on their presentation as well. So today I'm going to deliver some hints for you to to build up a sense of professionalism in the business presentations. So we divide it in three parts for the details one and the holistic view as well. So to build up a sense of professionalism, we need to begin in the very detailed elements. So we need to look more about the colors and the fonts of the presentations, and also the light we use, and also the background, and also the pictures we use. So all these small elements in one PPT slides is quite important for the people to build up their sense. So all these elements are very important factors to assist the contents to make it more presentable, and also give it styles to further assist the information that the audience can receive. Okay, so after we focus more the small elements in one PowerPoint, we need to improve ourselves in the paragraph as well. So we have the one-page design, and we also have different sections. So how we connect the sections in a consistent style, and how can we make it into a more logical sense. This is what we need to consider when we design the PowerPoint presentation as well. Also, after that, we need to look at the whole design of our point. So what is the opening paragraph and what is the ending paragraph? So what is the paragraph in the middle we need to focus on? So is our styles in a consistent way, or should we need to organize in a different part so that we can emphasize the contents? So what we need to think about is that have a more paragraphs mindset, so that we can keep every elements in each single page on track. So after that, we still need to look at the holistic views. So the holistic view including for the PowerPoints, so what kind of the business culture you want to deliver to the audience, that's we need to think about it. So every organizations, they have different business cultures. We have different the visuals, identifications, assistance. So all those things we need to integrate in our presentations. That is a more better attributes to deliver to the audience than combined with the contents. And also, this also related to the brand management. So what kind of the brand image we want to deliver to the audience. So is that all the things we're hiding in the details that the audience can catch in when they are listening to our presentations. And the third thing is that is a very unique part, because we need to focus on the tension of a PowerPoint. You may be curious on how can we focus on the tensions of a PowerPoint, because tensions is quite small things that hide in the details. Some people think when PowerPoints, they have very good contents, but you just don't feel attracted. Why? Maybe it is because of the tension. The tension is one kind of feelings that people feel comfortable and feel they are attracted when they are listening to your presentations. So we also need to look at the tensions of our presentations and focus on the small details we use. Like that, we need to go back to the elements part. So we need to look at the font and the light and the colors and all the pictures we select. We need to create unique tensions for our audience. Okay, so for all those three parts, we need to focus on the consistency for the audience. Do we deliver a very consistent message to the audience? If our presentation is not quite consistent, then maybe you need to modify it further because it is not quite good for the audience to catch a very holistic message for our presentation. And also, do we have a logical sense? Do we follow in the contents? The design should be more combined with the contents and need to serve with the contents, so that we need to follow the logical sense as well. And the third part is the detail oriented. So we need to focus on the details so that the presentations can be presented in a more better ways that can deliver our brand message and our organizational culture. All right. Okay, let's go last one. So here, I'm going to give you examples. This is a page of the samples that it is opening page for a presentations, which gives up the information about the corporate valuations for the Bendigo and Adelaide band. It is just examples. I'm not going to include. I'm not going to focus on the contents of what kind of contents and what is the figures and valuation methods that they're going to deliver to the audience. So in here, we only discuss the design of the paragraph, design of this page, how can it deliver the business elements to the audience to make their Ppt look more professional. So let's look at this page. So based on our analysis on the previous PowerPoints, we can have analysis for it. So you can see the first one is the colors. So we can see what kind of color it used. Alright, the main colors for it is the gray one and also the red one. So this two color is also consistent with the organizational culture because this is what the main color for Bendigo and Adelaide band as well. So these two color is quite consistent. And when we look at the background, we also found that they use colors that is quite similar to the red colors. That is make the color is more consistency and more comfortable for the audience. If you think about it, if you use a very different color in the background, such as deep blue or deep greens, you will feel the color is quite contrasted with the color in the titles, so that the audience will feel very uncomfortable when they first eye to look at this page. So we can see the design for the backgrounds. So a good design of background is not quite boring and a very regular. So for my recommendations, the styles we can use more like transparent shapes, different shades, and in a like submit transparent styles that can help the backgrounds have a better texture, and also it is not so boring as well. So like for example, this background, we use four different colors. There's the gray one and also the light purple and light red and the light yellow as well. So these four colors, when they match with each other, that is quite comfortable. And also we have a design here. That is the light and the shape. We use a slash here. See the slash 1, slash 2. And a small triangle in here as well. So this is a small technique for how to design a background that is look like more elegant and more professional, but also presented in a vivid ways. So one is the transparent. You can see that these colors are not very deep. They are not quite very conflict with all the information we're going to present in the front. And the second one is the use of the slash and the straight lines. So where you can see the background is quite comfortable. Even don't notice it, but it can just deliver a message of professional. All right. And then we can look at the pictures here. So this is a very professional pictures that is it is showing scenarios that is doing business presentations. So that is good. This picture is selected in a quite proper way. So we are going to do so it is telling the audience that we are going to present in a business case. And also let's see the design. The design is quite good because it is a very unique design that we use the small square here, small square, small square, small square. The squares, you can give the audience a sense of professional and a sense of determination, which is quite important in the business world. And the square also match with all the backgrounds as well. So let's look at. So and this paragraph is quite a unique design that we can use as samples to be the opening page. This can make the audience feel quite comfortable and let guests catch the main idea first, and also can deliver a sense of business professionalism. Yes, that's what I say. So when we're going to design a PowerPoint, we can do the element analysis. Like we can choose the colors, how can we organize the colors. It's better to choose the colors that is quite consistency and quite close to each other. Sometimes we need to use some conflict color, but that is used for emphasize some informations in other situations. And we also choose the form of our words and the line that we use to design our background. That's a straight line, and the background, and with some shadows, and also use some transparent effects, and also the pictures that just deliver a message for the audience that is a professional presentation. And after that, we can ask ourselves a question that's why make it look like professional. So we can answer the questions, and then we can evaluate whether our presentations design, our page design is a good design as well. So in here, we can answer that yes, the picture shows our professional presentations and use a very very comfortable and the design using the small square, and the background is also showing the consistency with the organizational culture, and it also have a color overlaps and uses different lines as well. So this page is quite a comfortable page for the audience. All right, let's look at the next examples. So we can have small observations for this page. This page here, this is the financial projections income statement analysis. Yeah, we don't need to focus on the contents because only here we discuss with the design of the page. So yeah, we can see there's a small explanations here. And you can see the background of this title, we use the black color, the blanch, and we use a blanch here, and the words is quite white. And you can also observe that there's a small, you can see there's a small shadows up here. The shadows, and shadow is also a good technique to use because shadows can make the presentations look like more comfortable, because that the people wouldn't like stuck in different color of just shapes on many things. And you can also see a small shadows under the explanation as well. It is a good technique that you can use a big title here and then give out a small explanations that can deliver a sense of professionalism as well. Alright, let's observe the design of the financial, the income statements, and then the income statement they begins at here. So we use a different, like how can we emphasize informations that we can use a highlight shadow here. So shadow is quite a technique that you can use anyway because it wouldn't bother our audience much. See, that's the highlight information. They use a much brighter white colors backgrounds to show up here. And also, if they give out more explanations, they will use the line, the straight line here, straight line. And also, you can see the highlight effects here. Those highlight effects, they have the have a highlight and also a shadow effect. Yes, we can observe the small shadows under the words as well. So this one can also a very good presentations to increase the tension of the presentations. See, this is another one. And this is another one. Okay, then we can see that actually that this one is quite consistency because we can see we use the same background. We don't change the background and we don't change the format and the color of the three statements they're going to present as well. We are going to use the same ways to when we give out explanations and the same way to when we highlight important information. So this is another part is very important, that is the paragraph analysis. So that we need to focus on the consistency first. We need to use the basic elements that is quite consistency for the paragraph, and the font effects we can create some templates for it. Also, we can look at the chart design, and explanations. It is quite consistency. And the colors, we can find that it is quite follow the main color we use. And the textbook, the colors we use is also quite consistency. So we also ask what make it professionals. I think it's basically come from consistency. We don't need to change the style all the times. Only if you have like changed to another main ideas or other presentation subjects, but it is better to keep it consistency for the information we present, so the audience can have a time to catch up with your information. Okay, we can also look at another examples. So we're going to have a more information for the presentation. So see, we're going to use a small symbols here to increase the presentations effect on the page. So we can see that the design is quite in a freestyle. We basically organize things in using different lines and small symbol and also the text box in different style as well. We don't use a very rigid ways to present informations because that we feel make the audience feel quite boring, and it is don't have a very flexible space for you to put information inside the presentations. Now can we see this is shadows of the form as well. Yes, this element is quite similar as well. And use the arrow and explanation. This one as well. It is a design, so we use the different shapes. We use the different shapes in here, and then to make it a whole part for presentation. And then we're going to give out more further information here, and use some image to make it to help the audience to catch up with your presentation. Okay, so that is the ending page. So you can see the design of the ending page, the background. They also use different light colors and using the transparency as level as well. And also using the blend to highlight the video informations. And also have the different distinguished colors in the background. Okay, so that this is another thing we need to think about. When we go through the presentations in a holistic way, we need to think about what image you want to deliver to the audience. So that is created our cultures. That is basically related to our colors and the way we use our lights. Are we going to deliver the presentation in a very vivid way, or you want to be more like business serious sense? Or you want to make it into a more imaginative sense. So this is the things we need to think about in a holistic way. So how are we going to organize the lights and the slides and all the colors and all the pictures is basically what kind of cultures you want to deliver to the audience. Okay, and the second is visual identities. That is basically the main color we choose for and the font we use and what kind of the logo and the small symbols and pictures we use. So they need to match with the organizational visual identity. And the third one is the blend. So what kind of value? We need to look at the values to the audience. So the values for the audience is quite different as well. So value is also in the small details. And the tension is created more basically from the shadows and all the transparency levels in our small details. So basically all those things, when they combine together, we can make the presentations in a more professional way. Okay, so thanks for listening for today's sessions. So if you want to get more professional advice on PPT design and improve your presentations, we are happy to give out a one-to-one consultations at our website, YourBrilliantPresentations.com. So we can also discuss the tailor-made advice and tailor-made designs for a presentation, so that you can improve your presentations with a better designs. So that if you have these troubles when you got a very valuable content but you don't know how to present it in a very good ways, that is the part we can help you. So thanks for listening.